Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the State of Wrestling address. It's Wrestlemania this weekend, which means I am going to be knackered. Very, very, very tired, as to be said. I'm your host, the Egyptian Death Machine Blacklist Master, Master Manipulator, videographer. I'm running out of. I need a bigger fucking CV. I'm basically a prick. Joining me on the Wrestle podcast this week is one of my fellow Blacklist members, Frankie T. Hello.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. Blacklist for life. And speaking of a man who's on a different blacklist entirely from the land of beautiful, beautiful India, it is, of course, the man who puts the wood in Bollywood, Tanvir Verdi.
Hi.
He's in some land. Final Fantasy? Is that
Yeah, I'm in the world of Gaia today.
Nerd. And joining me, ladies and gentlemen, once again, and you can tell, I mean, if he's not already miserable, he certainly will be, looking at Tanvir being such a gimp. It is, of course, the Maple Leaf Magician, the Duke of Diabetes, the man who has 10,000 more times insulin, as well as promo skills than Kenny Omega. It is, of course, the man who allegedly has no legs, although this is yet to be proven on an international basis. It is, of course, the third missing key of the North tag team that is Carl Wilkinson.
I swear that video I did with Shovels forever ago, I had legs there. But that was a long time ago, and it was great.
I don't remember seeing legs. God, remember the Shovel video? Those were the good old days.
Oh,
who's hyped? Who's hyped for Mania?
I mean, I got swept into the hype and ended up buying the fucking Wrestlemania shirt.
Oh, I do love that shirt.
I'm not going to get it before this weekend, but I don't care. I'm like, it's my two boys finally getting some sort of recognition.
Yeah, it is. And I have a good question relating to that, but we'll quickly round up what little wrestling news there is to talk about before we do so. By the way, Frankie T, feeling good after last weekend's IWE date with Destiny, are we, eh?
Absolutely.
The 5th year anniversary and arguably the most successful evening of wrestling that IWE has ever had in its entirety.
Yeah, and I got to lay waste to someone.
Lay waste.
So, hey,
why would you poop on someone like that? That's gross, dude. You don't just poop on people.
You see Frankie straining over him.
He got his little fucking bitch boy to do it, didn't he? It is what it is. The late Tim White is heading into the WWE Hall of Fame. Just days before WrestleMania 39, White was announced as the final member of the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2023 as the recipient of the Warrior Award on the bump. He joins the esteemed company of Rey Mysterio, the Great Muta, the late comedy legend Andy Kaufman, and Stacy Keibler for this year's induction, which will be hosted by Caleb Braxton this Friday evening on the Peacock. Right immediately following the conclusion of WWE SmackDown. Are we happy with the Hall of Fame lineup for 2023, gentlemen?
I'm liking it.
I'm loving it. They've leveraged the referee.
When I think of Tim White, I immediately just think of those old skits they used to do on WWE.com. Where it's just like,
kill himself.
Yes, and then like they were so dark but so funny, and it's no wonder I'm fucked up because I laughed at every single one of those.
Speaking of so dark and so funny, Tanvir Verdi.
Do you know I just got up Tim White and the whole thing was called Lunchtime Suicide.
Unnecessary. No,
that's the name of the segment that Carl's talking about. It's called
I just love the fact that we're supposed to be celebrating all these amazing people going to the Hall of Fame, but all we're doing is talking about a man trying to commit suicide on a weekly basis on WWE Raw.
I mean, I'm excited that a wrestler I've seen live is going into the Hall of Fame. That's pretty neat to me.
Rey
Mysterio, yeah. Like my childhood hero. I literally thought he was a superhero. He's still doing things at his age that his knees should not be able to handle.
It's still mental that to this day and age, when people ask if you watch wrestling, it's either Hulk Hogan, Austin, or Rey Mysterio. Like people ask, like that Rey Mysterio guy in the mask, doing the flips and everything.
I put Cena on that list as well, but yeah.
Yeah.
Who do you think is the next guy to go on that? Roman Reigns? Like in 40 years' time, do you think people will say, I remember watching wrestling when Roman Reigns was a thing?
I think they have to.
Yeah, I'd say that. Cody,
Brock,
At the
Brock
time,
Lesnar,
done it.
maybe.
Pete, Brock. Yeah.
I don't think it'll be in the same like
Akira
vein as these
Tozawa.
guys. Oh man, if they don't mention Akira Tozawa, and to me to get him
Can you
married,
imagine
what
it?
is life?
Jinder.
Jinder, well, yeah, maybe in India.
When's
Or,
Jimmy Wang Yang going in?
oh
Yeah.
man, he's
Yeah,
an
throw-
oh, what was we discussed him, didn't we, on a podcast recently? We were talking about things that are doing now. Doesn't he have
Yeah.
like a tour bus or something? Like a
Yeah, he's
party
got
bus?
a
Yeah.
party bus.
My
I mean,
man,
we're putting Jimmy Wang Yang. Let's put Kerwin White in there too. You know.
Kerwin White. Oh
Jesus.
mate,
Oh,
what about Rodney Mack? Are you down with the Brown? Do you remember that? That was fucking weird. That
wasn't
faction.
Teddy Long his manager? Like the
The
manager of
whole
that
idea
faction?
was it was meant to be like Black Power, wasn't it? And it was just a horrible, horrible version of the Nation of Domination. It just wasn't good at all.
Yeah.
What about the headbangers?
Headbangers generally actually do deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, to be fair.
I thought
They
they
aren't
were.
in. I thought they were, yeah.
Well, there must have been a year that I missed one.
I don't know.
I think
Yeah.
I think they are, but I don't remember.
No idea.
I think
Someone
this is
send their
the
emails in and let us know.
I think just looking at Hall of Fame, this is the one year where I'm actually quite happy with the celebrity inductee, Andy Kaufman.
That's
Yeah.
amazing pick.
Yeah.
Somebody who actually is intrinsically linked to the identity of what makes kayfabe what it is. Like, it's actually really, really cool. Like, and also Andy Kaufman and Jerry Lawler at the time. I mean, that was on the David Letterman show, which was in that moment the biggest chat show in the world. It's that's a big fucking deal.
There's still that conspiracy as well that Andy Kaufman faked his death, right? So people are saying it's like, what if he reveals he's alive?
Don't talk to me about
disappearing in the Hall of
conspiracies.
Fame?
I've spent way too much time on TikTok today, and now I'm like freaking out that the world's going to end in 2 years' time.
Oh,
Oh, I thought you've been talking to Darwin again.
Hey,
I thought you've been talking to Darwin again.
wow, Frankie T apparently using the internet of a 1989 pauper. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. But well, hopefully, I don't know. This is the point where if it was a live stream, like we'll be working with Frankie T's technical difficulties, and we hope to speak to him soon. Although his internet clearly has been future endeavored, along with Damien, it has to be said. Yeah, no, I think it's fine. I think it's a decent lineup, if I'm being honest. Like Stacey Keebler going in is pretty cool. Again, the problem is every year people are going to kick off, aren't they, about who should be in, who shouldn't be in. They can't put everyone in at once, otherwise the Hall of Fame ceremony would dwarf the entire weekend. Like people are just like, why? Jake Roberts came out this week and said, why isn't Rick Martel in? And it's like, well, yeah, absolutely, he deserves to be in, but they don't all have to go in at once. You're always going to have this issue. Do we still think that China should go in separately?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think she should.
Absolutely.
I mean, her contributions to like the way people viewed women's wrestling in the late 90s, ridiculously important.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be a debate whether or not she was overreaching, going, "Hey, I want like Austin level money." It's like, well, okay, I let's bring it down a second. We can talk about it, but well, she was wrestling more men than women for the most part.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Not a great deal of news, to be honest. There's a few little things poking around. Has anyone seen MVP's depiction of himself in 2K23?
Yeah,
Oh,
listen.
he
Yeah,
hates it. No pocket square.
it was in After the Bell. He talked about it. He hated it.
Yeah, he was on After the Bell, and he said that he's offended by the render that has been created of him. It looks like they put my head on top of Paul Heyman's body in the cheapest possible suit anybody could find. That's how he summarized his character in the game. It's something that MVP has been vocal about on social media ever since his character was showcased, and a big reason for that is down to the clothing that he is wearing. I don't know who at 2K I upset at the WWE games. I don't know whose parking space I took. I don't know whose girlfriend I may have stolen away. I don't know, but somebody there has zero respect for me and my accomplishments, he said. Whoever those game developers are, they have a personal issue with me. Yeah. Anyway, has anyone actually played 2K23?
Nope.
Not yet.
Nope.
I want to. It looks good. Like I've seen some streams and stuff. It looks good.
They all look the same to me. They've gone down the route of like FIFA and Call of Duty, where they just recycle the same game every year for me. It's just looks,
they're not really changing the gameplay. It looks like, which is the main thing that needs changing.
This is where we need Cameron Anderson finally. He would be actually fucking useful, wouldn't he? But
I'd love to try a War Games match. I think that'd be cool as hell.
Yeah, that's probably the one selling point for me is the fact it does have War Games in it. But yeah,
like the John Cena like showcase, like I'd play through it. Absolutely, I would. John Cena's had some incredible moments.
I'm still waiting for my WCW NWO World Tour remastered.
I mean, if you're gonna give me WCW, at least give me Revenge.
I mean, they were pretty much both the same, weren't they? Like,
yeah, but I never played the other one. I played Revenge a lot more.
Wasn't like I can't remember if both. I think both were available on N64, but I'm pretty sure that like one of them was called Revenge, so it could be on like PS2, and then the other one was for N64. Yeah. I can't remember.
I know WCW NWO Revenge was definitely on N64 because I had both that and No Mercy, which were literally like carbon copies of each other. Just one.
I still have my cartridges for all of them. Like,
oh, dude, when I come over, do you still have an N64? Do you still
I
have
do, yeah.
Okay,
yes.
we're fucking playing some No Mercy there, bud.
Yeah, we should just get all the boys round and have a little N64 tour and then stream it. It'll be a laugh. Set up all my cameras and shit. That'd be right, Giggle. So yeah. Apart from Frankie T, who will be dreading his 7th wife on Bumble probably at that point.
Probably. Leaving the legacy.
You're right, mate. Whereabouts are you based tonight, Frankie T? Normally you're in the conservatory, aren't you?
I'm in my living room.
Excellent.
With the candlestick?
Yeah.
It looks like he's got a candlestick up his arse. He's very stern, isn't he? Look at you look like you're in a hostage situation. Is everything all right?
Oh yeah, he showed his kids.
It's there. He's like, please don't kill my children. Project Bluebeam is in his front room. Don't Google that, by the way. You will fucking never sleep again.
I'm Googling it now.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Honestly, seriously, mate, it's got me all paranoid as fuck that the world's going to end.
What was it called?
Project Bluebeam.
Okay.
Now that I've mentioned it on YouTube, I'll probably disappear now. So if I do disappear, you know what? This video will get taken down as well, which will make it even more suspect. So
I found an article from 2008.
Oh, damn it, we're not going to debate it. This is a wrestling podcast, for the love of Christ. So, good news for anyone who loves multiverse wrestling action. Impact Wrestling announced a new match for its co-event with NJPW Multiverse United, where Lio Rush will face Kushida.
Oh, that's gonna slap. Don't close your eyes.
This won't be the first time the two will wrestle each other, as Rush and Yo defeated Kevin Knight and Kushida in the when I say Rush, I obviously mean Rush. Yeah, Lio Rush and Yo defeated Kevin Knight and Kushida in the NJPW Super Junior League tag tournament thing last year. All the fucking vows, NJPW, relax. After the match was announced, Rush shared a promo on Twitter for the match. Right now, right place, right time, Rush said, which is good shit. Multiverse United will be held on March the 30th at the Globe Theatre in Los Angeles, California, which is literally, I believe, tomorrow night, isn't it?
Yeah, that's just tomorrow. Jesus.
Yeah, because him
right, so I'm not sleeping tomorrow night either.
Speedball's a mad bastard because he's facing Irie, then he's
thanks. Yeah, I was going to announce that until this one started buttoning, but you know, it's all good. It's all good. I guess. All right then, Tanvi, you've obviously got the card, so go on in.
Okay.
Captain New Japan. If you interrupt me again, I'll wear your skin.
So it was going to be Speedball Mike Bailey versus Will Ospreay, but then Will Ospreay unfortunately got injured. So
I thought he was facing Tanahashi.
No, it was going to be a Speedball v Ospreay, but then because of Ospreay's recent shoulder injury that he had to pull out of New Japan Cup for, doesn't know how long he's going to be out. Yeah, Tanahashi.
Because he fears Kate Mayfair's. That's why.
You've got a big meaty horse match in Jeff Cobb versus Moose.
That'd be right.
That'd be good. You've got the Impact X Division scrambled match. So you've got Trey Miguel, who's the champ, Clark Connors, Frankie Kazarian, Kevin Knight, Rich Swann, and Rocky Romero. So that'll be a fun one. Kenta v Minoru Suzuki. Then you've got the
R.I.P. Kenta, I guess.
That's not really a multiverse match, though, is it? Aren't they both New Japan?
It's for the strong openweight title, so it's more of like a showcase, I think.
The
in a way.
strong open weight title, is that what used to be the never open weight?
No. It's the separate title they made for New Japan Strong.
Wow.
I know. It got
turning
really
into Immortal Wrestling, mate. What the fuck?
It got really fucking stupid. It got really stupid. Then you've got.
I don't give a shit at this point. I'm just waiting. I'm just collecting heat like a radiator over here.
I think the match I'm most looking forward to is the four-way tag match for the titles. Chris Bay and Ace Austin versus Aussie Open versus Motor City Machine Guns versus the Mighty Don't Kneel.
Yeah, that'll slap.
Yeah. Then you've got Then you've got the 8-man tag, which is Alex Coughlin, Sammy Callahan, Fred Rosser, and PCO versus Eddie Edwards, Joe Hendry, and Tom Lawler and JR Kratos.
That sounds fucking terrible.
It's
I've got to be honest, that card is a bit meh to me.
Then you've got the women's match, which unfortunately...
Oh, women. They're allowed to wrestle, are they?
which unfortunately Mickey James had to pull out of, but it's now Deonna Purrazzo, Giselle Shaw versus Masha Slamovich versus Miyu Yamashita. And then...
that really cute girl who was in AEW for a bit?
No, this is... so Miyu does...
Is she related to Taker Shitter?
No, she does more of the... hard kicks, hard strikes. Miyu's are very, very solid. And then
Yamashita and Taker Shitter should be a tag team, shouldn't they? That'd be amazing.
That'd be a fun. That'd be a fun mixed tag team.
I've recognized maybe like 5 of the wrestlers you've said in the last minute and a half.
I must admit, it was a bit annoying that Tanvir interrupted me and then delivered the card with about as much energy as as Rolf Harris.
Okay.
If I'm being honest. So and so is facing so and so person from Japan and fuck off. It's like he's not even excited about it, are you? Let's be honest.
It's because Wrestlemania is this weekend.
Yeah, but the multiverse, mate. So,
but like you said, it's
stepping up in this.
I mean, Trey Miguel will try to do his best cosplay, as he usually does.
Trey Miguel is, in my opinion, more over and better than Spider-Man. Because Spider-Man is for dorks and children. Grow up.
Well, I've never met Spider-Man, so
there's only one Spider-Man I care about, and it's the one that has Randy Savage in it.
Yes,
everything else pales in comparison to. Yeah.
I've got you for 3 minutes.
It's my favorite superhero film. First Spider-Man. Amazing.
Yes, indeed. Right. Well, meanwhile, as Tanvir brought up Impact for the card. Thanks, Tanvir. Also, nice background, gay boy. So Wrestling Inc. Has a list here of wrestlers who made brief and, shall we say, incredibly minor impacts in Impact Wrestling. A rumble. Yeah. Speaking of brief impacts, but a bum. Yeah, I said it. I hate all of you at this point, and I wish I was dead. Wrestlers who had brief careers in Impact Wrestling. Right, I'm going to read these out very quickly, and you are going to tell me whether you remember it, and frankly, whether it was worth remembering. And we start, of course, with Joni, China, Laura, yeah, Laura, whatever.
I think it's Laura.
Let's just go with China, innit? Who remembers China being in the Impact Zone?
Nope.
It must have been like early days.
She tagged with Kurt Angle, didn't she?
She did, yeah. That was literally her only appearance. Throughout its existence, a handful of names have become synonymous with Impact Wrestling, as you will know. China rocked up for literally just that one match. Sadly, at that point it wasn't good. Let's just put it that way. Let's put it out. Rowdy Roddy Piper. As NWA TNA began to find its footing in 2002, its roster contained a nice blend of up-and-coming wrestling prodigies with established mainstream wrestlers. One individual to fall into the latter category is Rowdy Roddy Piper, who was one of the industry's biggest stars. To set up a feud with Vince Russo, Piper cut a scathing promo that implicated him directly in the 1999 death of Owen Hart. and called for Vince Russo. Basically, he was implicating Vince Russo, not himself. And called him out for being a danger to all who step between the ropes. Moving on from this controversial segment, Piper spent the better part of 2003 cutting less eyebrow-raising promos before returning to the TNA Asylum in person in 2004. He announced he'd host his own segment called In the Pit with Piper, which is obviously a rip-off of Piper's Pit. And at Victory Road 2004, he interviewed his old adversary, Jimmy Supervised Snooker, and a month later, in the Pit with Piper featured Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Hector Garza. Following this up, Piper's final TNA appearance occurred at Final Resolution 2005, where he served as the guest referee for Jeff Hardy and Scott Hall.
I do remember that actually.
I
Good.
don't.
I
Not
watched a
but-
lot of TNA in like 2000, between like 2005 and 2000, maybe even 2010, as late as that, before Hogan and Bischoff showed up, because I didn't really care about WWE at the time.
And then they
But-
crippled this company as well.
Oh, did they
See,
ever?
I remember the promo he done on Vince Russo. I remember that one. I don't
That's
remember the
about
rest of
all
it.
I remember from it, to be honest. That run didn't really resonate with me, and I was arguably Roddy Piper's biggest mark as a kid. Rick Steiner's on this list. Rick Steiner, of course, came back and briefly tagged with his boy Scott, the old dog-faced gremlin himself. Who remembers the rebirth of the Steiner brothers when they faced Team 3D?
Vaguely.
Yeah,
I couldn't say left a
va-
lasting
va-
impression.
Yeah, vaguely.
Bad. It was very bad. Very, very bad. Xavier Woods. Who remembers Xavier Woods being
Consequences
Yeah,
Creed.
Consequences Creed. Truth and
Yeah.
consequences.
Oh.
Yeah, it was him and Ron Killings. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that.
The Nasty Boys, Knobs and Sags.
They didn't last very long, but I kind of
Yeah.
remember it.
Yeah,
don't
they were in
remember.
Impact as well. In January of 2010, the Nasty Boys kicked off a feud with Team 3D, which culminated in a showdown at that year's Against All Odds pay-per-view. Thanks to the timely intervention of their long-time manager Jimmy Hart, Knobs and Sags defeated Brother Ray and Brother Devon.
Oof.
Team 3D got a measure of revenge against their rivals when they scored a win over them in a subsequent tag team tables match. The feud would come to a close by late March when the Nasty Boys and Jimmy Hart beat Team 3D and Brother Run, aka Spike Dudley. Nasty Boys were released from TNA shortly after this match, concluding a rather uneventful stint with the company. Zach Gowen, who remembers our one-legged friend from WWE.
When the
I-
fuck was that
Well,
going?
remember him
I
from WWE.
vaguely do. As I think I saw a GIF of it or a video of it recently on Twitter.
Yeah, under the name Tenacious Z, Gowen would clash with the likes of BG James and Mike Sanders during his first run in NWA TNA in 2003. 2 years later, he made his return at Hard Justice 2005. Though it didn't bode well for him. Of the 4 matches he competed in, he only stood victorious a single time in a brief match against Kid Romeo. The year after, Gowen took part in the Kevin Nash Open Invitational
Ooh.
X Division Gauntlet Battle
Ooh.
Royal that Austin Starr, better known as Austin Aries, ultimately won. That was it.
I think the clip I saw of Zach Gowen in Impact might have been with Eric Young. I think. But yeah.
Yeah. Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Oh.
Yeah.
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 That was the thing.
There's a thing that happened, that's
Uh,
for sure.
Bob Backlund, who remembers when he was guest referee for oh man, it was Austin Aries and I can't remember who the other person was. Oh, he was guest referee. I think it might have been Shelley. I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember. He was guest referee. It doesn't even say here, so that shows you how bad it was. But he was guest referee for Austin Starver. So, I think it was Chris Sabin, and it was just tragic to say the very least. And it was also the whole fucking gimmick was based around the fact that Austin Starr was a closet homosexual. Just cringeworthy in every sense.
Well, I mean, now he's just fucking insane, so.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Test is Andrew Martin, who remembers when he came out as the Enforcer.
Yep.
Briefly.
Yeah, he was.
This was after he was released from WWE, yeah? Like
Yeah, for being
2006, 2007?
absolutely off his tits on the roids. Like, do you
Oh, well-
remember when he came back in TNA and he was humongous?
Well, even just like remember his build in the Extreme Elimination Chamber, because that was December 06, and the veins were popping out of places veins don't belong.
Yeah. Speaking of somebody who popped out a little bit too much than maybe he should have, Lex Luger made one appearance when he teamed with Jeff Jarrett against AJ Styles and Sting in 2003. Anyone remember that? No.
Nope.
And then, of course, there's obviously the infamous China that we've mentioned. Who remembers Kazuchika Okada in Impact?
Yeah,
during his excursion.
Yeah,
yeah,
when he was just a fucking fresh-faced rookie.
he was Okato, right? And he was with Joe and Lethal. think.
Yeah. With a initial run in NJPW on his belt, Okada made his way to the Impact Zone in 2010, competing simply as Okada and later Okato. The future Rainmaker commonly appeared on TNA Explosion. I've also seen there's a match you can actually watch on YouTube and Daily Motion where he faces the Doctor, Stevie Richards, and loses in about 6 minutes, which is mind blowing when you think about it now.
I can't imagine Okada wrestling less than 60 minutes now.
Yeah, I don't think it's legal for him to wrestle for less than 45 minutes, otherwise he gets fired.
It's right in his contract.
Yeah, probably. Diamond Dallas Page.
Thank God.
DDP. He made a brief stint in the X Division region. Nobody cares. Also, who remembers Generation Me?
Yeah, it's the Young Bucks.
The Young Bucks, when they were a little bit relatively unknown, they actually faced the Motor City Machine Guns in a ladder match well before they would become the internet darlings that they are now. And also CM Punk.
Vaguely.
I vaguely remember.
Did he have a
this.
run-in with Samoa Joe?
I mean, when has he not in life had a run-in with? I mean, that's literally him.
I mean, I don't remember it now, so I probably didn't care about it then.
Yeah, his earliest matches for the company date back to late 2002, though he didn't become a regular face until 2003. He first arrived when they used to do weekly pay-per-views as opposed to actual Impact tapings and stuff like that, Nation. He actually, one of my first memory of him was him backstage with Mickey James quite randomly. No idea what the fuck that was for. But yeah, no, he joined Julio De Niro under the leadership of Raven to form the Gathering faction.
Okay.
What's that? Just an 18th attempt at the flock? Like,
pretty much, yeah. He was notably faced Shane Douglas in a Clockwork Orange House of Fun match. Anyone remember that?
No.
Nope.
nah.
There you go. Well, that indeed. Punk's final NWA TNA match took place on February the 25th when he teamed with De Niro to face Raven and Sabu.
Is there like fucking the Pope?
I think it might be, yeah.
Okay.
Possibly.
Elijah Burke, I think he was in ECW.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be lying if I said I gave a shit, but
It's NWA.
I just like to test my own knowledge, you know.
Yeah. I mean, this whole thing is very testing, if I'm being honest.
That's true.
So before we get to our preview, obviously, of this weekend's absolutely ludicrous fucking amount of wrestling, it should be worth pointing out that AEW is hypothetically going to be running a new television show, a third television show.
Oh my fucking Christ.
That's all we need.
So yeah, apparently they may have a televised platform on a Saturday. However, there is rumors that they could move AEW Dark or Elevation to the Saturday television show. Less of that, please, Tanvir. This is a family-friendly show.
We don't need more AEW. Can it just fuck off?
Well, I mean, Eric Bischoff thinks it's fucking ridiculous. That's the long and short of this article. What do we think about AEW having a third TV show?
It's not needed. It's not. You've got Dark, you've got Dark Elevation, you've got Dynamite, you've got Rampage, you've got ROH now, which kind of is trying to maybe be its own thing, but at the same time,
AEW feeder.
Yeah, but at the same time, isn't. You've got
what do we call a third AEW television show a week?
AEW. Fuck off.
Can you imagine it? AEW After Dark presents Fuck Off.
I hate.
Just call it Khan's Indulgence, because that's all it fucking is.
Khan's Indulgence sounds like some really shit indie ice cream that you'd buy.
I hate the name of their house show of like, oh, AEW House Rules. It's like, no, not everything needs a fucking nickname.
Blood and guts.
No, Anarchy Rules.
Oh God.
Ugh. Not a good game.
Anarchy Rules. Wow, yeah, that's a throwback, isn't it?
Not good.
That game
Not
was
good.
fucking atrocious.
Oh shit.
I'll tell you what game was really good. The backyard wrestling games that we got. They were ironically hilarious.
I think they were piss garbage, but they were so fun.
Yeah, but it's one of
Killer-
those things where, yeah, if you played it by yourself, you're like, what the fuck is this? But playing it with your mates was genuinely like a fucking experience and a half.
Killer soundtrack.
Yeah, fucking amazing. I want remastered versions of those
Ah, that's a dream.
instead of all these cheap shit indie titles that keep coming out that are just all look like fucking Virtua Fighter knockoffs. No, thank you.
Remastered WWE All Stars. That's all I'll ever want.
Yes.
That game's really fucking good, to be honest. Never mind the remastered. I'll happily just play the original. Can you play it on the current version of consoles? Because they've got a lot of backdated things, haven't
maybe?
they?
I think is it on Game Pass?
I don't know. No, I don't think
it's
it's on
not.
Game Pass.
I can guarantee it's not on Game Pass.
Yeah, I can pretty much guarantee that as well because I've never seen it. I would have been all over it if it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, AEW After Dark next coming soon. I don't know. Fucking
Dark After Dark Rampage. Dark.
I know, right? Darker. AEW
AEW presents
Durka.
Durka Muhammad Jihad.
AEW Darker Muhammad Jihad. That's just for me. Finally, something that AEW does that's for me.
AEW presents Suk Allah Muhammad Jihad.
Jesus Christ. Also, happy Ramadan, by the way, to all our lovely Islamic friends. And by that, I mean my sisters. WWE draws record 20 million in sponsorship dollars for WrestleMania 39. WrestleMania 39 is going Hollywood, as we know, and the company is already drawing box office numbers, according to a new report by the Associated Press. The sports entertainment company has already doubled its advertising revenue for its annual WrestleMania events, with this year's edition bringing in $20 million. WWE has gone about incorporating its advertisers into the in-ring action in several different ways in recent years. The company blatantly advertised Mountain Dew's new pitch black drink at the Royal Rumble. No shit.
Not very good, by the way.
Is it not good?
No, it's not great.
Oh,
I also I can't even describe the taste of it because there wasn't really a taste to it. Like it wasn't Mountain Dew. I could have been Demon Nicker. I don't know.
Not the only ones though. Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs wore yellow and orange to the ring to promote Mike's Harder Lemonade at WrestleMania 38.
Harder Lemonade.
I know, right? Well, who calls it Harder Lemonade? What? A lemonade that gives you an erection. Well, apparently he gave Rick Boogs too much of an erection because he tore his ACL in that match. So good times.
That was so sad.
It buckled under the weight of his cock.
Oh yeah. There's no more like his pectorals, the size of them. There's no word yet on how WWE will incorporate sponsorships at this year's event, but Stimmel has teased a cinnamon toast crunch collaboration for one match.
You mean the cereal that tears apart your mouth when you eat it? Yeah.
Imagine if they put that on the tag match. That'd be so funny.
Which one though? Which tag match though?
The 1D into a bowl of cinnamon crunch.
Oh.
Let's just ruin Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn's great moment with cinnamon crunch.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Yeah. Apparently, Pat McAfee, who has barely appeared on WWE programming since accepting a deal with ESPN's College Game Day, he's not scheduled to be at WrestleMania whatsoever.
Boo! Boo!
Yeah, apparently,
boo this man.
This is according to Nick Khan, so it might be a swerve. You never know. But Nick Khan has said that he won't be a part of WrestleMania, and Wade Barrett will not be removed from. Which he shouldn't be anyway, because Wade Barrett is fucking phenomenal as color commentator on SmackDown.
I miss Pat McAfee. Don't get me wrong, but
Pat McAfee
really, really good.
I think they should have Pat McAfee and Corey Graves both on Raw to boost the commentary. Because for me, I don't dislike Kevin Patrick or whatever his name is, but I find him boring as fuck.
The Irish man.
The Irish man.
Yeah,
I like him, but you're right. He doesn't bounce off Corey Graves very well.
Yeah. I like Pat on like the big show. So when he was at Royal Rumble doing the commentary out of nowhere, that was great. So I think having Pat at the big events is cool, but he shouldn't. I don't think, because given how busy his schedule's become, Jesus Christ, I don't think him being on every week is kind of viable.
I'd bring back Nigel McGuinness. I thought he was brilliant.
He's doing the rounds now, isn't he, on the British Indies? So I assume he's been released from his contract because he will be appearing for a multitude of places. He's a guest trainer for Brian Kendrick's school in California. He's also going to be making a guest appearance at Progress, at the Super Strong Style 16 tournament. So, which is great news for us.
Yeah,
Great to
I
have
like it.
Nigel McGuinness. I mean, if he fucking does a seminar near me, forget about it. I'm there.
Coming to IWE soon.
You ain't got a budget for that. Mate, you don't even want to run a show in June. Come on, fam. let's not lie to ourselves here. So right, as we're going to preview very, very quickly, not in great depth, because obviously WrestleMania is the big party that everyone wants to talk about, but NXT Stand and Deliver is this Saturday as well. And it's also worth pointing out that Johnny Gargano will be competing in NXT ring again, first time in quite a while. This goaded an interesting response from Booker T, who on his podcast recently stated that he doesn't understand why people love Johnny Gargano, but he was interested to see things play out. It's worth pointing out this might be some sort of kayfabe angle to kind of hype the fact that he's on NXT, because obviously Booker T is, of course, the color commentator, unintended, for NXT. So, Kyle, you're a big fan of Johnny Gargano, right? On Johnny Wrestling. Do you think?
Absolutely.
I got to be honest. I personally think he's right. I don't think it's worked since he came back to the main roster.
No, like the stuff with Dexter Lumis was kind of funny, like with the Miz and stuff. Like it was kind of funny, but he hasn't wrestled a whole bunch, and when he does, he loses. He's definitely going to lose to. I'm pretty sure it's Grayson Waller to kind of tie up when Johnny left NXT the first time. That'll tie all that up in a nice bow. But he's just eating loss after loss. Like, would it be great if him and Ciampa got back together when the Ciampa's healthy? I'd fucking lose my mind.
Ciampa's fucked again, right? Like
he's recovering. I think he's had. I think it was like some sort of stem cell things and stuff.
I was gonna say, I do worry about someone like Ciampa. Like, how many times before you think?
I would love to see DIY together one more time, but as of right now, he's just there, and it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, because he hasn't really had. Has he wrestled Gable yet?
I think he's wrestled both members of Alpha Academy.
Okay, I was gonna say that match might have intrigued me, but I don't, because it's like Kyle said, Gargano just keeps on losing. I think in NXT he kind of became the heart of that brand due to the stories he was getting and the match quality. I mean, when you think about it, the matches with Andrade, the matches with Aleister Black, the trilogy with Adam Cole, and then the whole Ciampa story as well. So I think the transition to the main roster hasn't been the cleanest or the smoothest.
No, I think this highlight really was the Elimination Chamber. Up in the main roster. I can't really pinpoint anything specific that he's done that stands out.
Been a pretty quiet run, to be honest. I mean, it's a far cry from his incredible rivalry with Andrade, which was still, for my money, one of the greatest matches I've ever seen.
NXT Live came to Peterborough once during that, and I got to see like him and Candice tag against Zelina and Andrade, and like they even kept like referencing it like in pre-match promos, like, hey, like this is your last run, good fucking luck. It was so cool. I also saw Ricochet there before he debuted on the main roster or on NXT. That was pretty cool.
Also, Ricochet wrestle Pete Dunne at Rev Pro.
That'd be a banger.
Was that the cockpit?
No, that was at Your Call.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What else did I see? Oh yeah, I watched the LDRS Leaders of the New Generation, Marty Scurll and Zack Sabre Jr. versus Matt Sydal and Ricochet in a tag match in Reading once.
Nice.
God, could you blink?
Hey, not really. No, it was fucking insane. No, that was good. That's going back some as well. That same show had Dalton Castle on it and Michael Elgin.
Oh.
I know. When everyone says Michael Elgin now, it's really sad, isn't it? Like, like, Jesus.
I still have fond memories of Elgin because I remember me and my dad watching the Naito match from New Beginning, and my dad just loving Elgin because he's like,
Oh, I
he's a
think
big guy.
remember his ladder match against Kenny Omega. You know, it really
Yeah, that was
stood
good
out to a lot
too.
of people.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of the Omega matches hit with the Elgin. I think the one in the first like proper New Japan America show for the US belt, they absolutely set the tone right because I think they opened up the show. It was great.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Elgin versus Cage at Slammiversary got like it was a lot of people's match of the year on this podcast many moons ago because we are now well over 6 years, which is pretty wild when you think about it. And still nobody's listening. So NXT Stand and Deliver, we're going to race through this quickly because ultimately I just don't care that much. I'm being real.
I don't care.
Johnny Gargano versus Grayson Waller is an unsanctioned match, so expect a lot of violence. So Carl's got Grayson Waller. I've got Grayson Waller. Frankie T, who you got, Grayson Waller or Johnny Gargano?
I'm gonna go Johnny Gargano.
All right, he's going for the big boy, and Tanvi's got
Grayson Wallaby.
All right, it's Grayson Wallaby 3-1 in favor. So Fallon Henley and Kiana James, the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. I have no idea. I think Fallon Henley's the Cowboy Girl, if I remember rightly. Apparently, Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen really doing well in their career will accompany them at ringside. Apparently, they'll be facing Alba Fire and probably the hottest woman in wrestling, other than Liv Morgan, which is of course Isla Dawn. My lord, literally like lights out, like holy shit. Yeah, who do we have? I've got the Scottish ladies whipping some ass here.
Yeah, I'll go with them as well.
Yeah, they're also really hot, so that helps. Alba Fire is, of course, Kaylee Ray for anyone who remembers when Pepperidge Farm remembers.
RIP NXT UK.
Fucking NXT sucks dick now, don't it? Let's be honest.
I just don't care about NXT. There's nobody really there that I'm like, okay.
I mean,
Do you think
I'm excited-
NXT 2.0 killed it?
In many ways, yeah. I think because it took away the seriousness of it. What made NXT popular? Now, obviously, it's a minute thing because people will say, oh, well, they were always losing the ratings to Dynamite. And I'm like, well, yeah, but it's NXT. Dynamite's wrestling in front of 16,000 fans when they can sell tickets. And NXT's working in front of what? 600? That's just ridiculous to compare them in the first place. But at least with the black and gold brand, when it was the more edgy, darker brand, the quality of wrestling and the stars were actually really big. Whereas a lot of these, what they've done is they've taken away all the indie-rific stars, the guys who are indie darlings, Adam Cole and whoever it might be, the Undisputed Era and all that kind of stuff. And then they've replaced them with their own homegrown talents they're trying to build from scratch. But the problem with that is that they don't have any allure to any fans, whether you be a mark. So if you're just a mainstream fan, these people aren't big enough to have mainstream appeal. And if you're an indie fan, you don't know them either because they're factory wrestlers. They're not people that you saw in Ring of Honor or whatever it might be.
And the thing is with NXT is that when they do get an indie star now, they kind of just give them a new coat of paint to make them like, oh, this isn't the guy you remember. Like I feel most sad for grizzled young vets. Because I fucking love Zach Gibson.
What, Schism?
They give me an aneurysm.
Yeah, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. Yeah, no, I'm not feeling it, if I'm being honest. I'm really not, which makes it even more difficult, obviously, to enjoy this, which is a shame because there is some really good talent. The thing is, right, they merged all the NXT UK guys in, and I thought, okay, cool, that's going to really... And I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Because WWE's main roster took all the NXT UK talents that we gave a shit about. And, yeah, exactly. And so, yeah, it is what it is. I've got the Scottish women. Anyone else? Anyone got any predictions? Scottish women or random women who we've never heard of retain?
Scottish women.
Scottish.
Boy. Oh, Isla Dawn. Seriously. That Instagram is a gift from God. An 8-person mixed tag team match. Winner gains control of Chase University.
I don't care.
You know what? It's starting to become like AEW for me. I'm a little bit concerned. Chase University's Andre Chase, Duke Hudson, and Thea Hale, along with, oh my God, Tyler Bates in this.
I didn't know they were fighting over it, to be honest with you.
Andre Chase, Duke Hudson, Thea Hale, and Tyler Bate versus Schisms, Joe Gacy, Jagger Reed, Rip Fowler, and Ava, who I believe is The Rock's daughter. So they.
Can you repeat what this is for?
This is for the control of Chase University, which is Andre Chase's kayfabe university campus.
I don't really care.
Yeah, it's fuck me. Fucking this is terrible. This is what you got for Tyler Bate had a 5-star match with Pete Dunne for the NXT UK Championship, and now he's doing this hippie Zen bullshit, trying to defend the honor of a university that doesn't exist.
He had Tyler Bate had bangers with Gunther and so many others.
Nah, Chase University, mate. Where the real money's at.
I want my diploma. Give me my diploma.
Fucking deplorable. Never mind diploma. Fucking ridiculous. Absolute debacle, mate.
Perhaps it's the feeder for Alpha Academy.
I don't know. Seriously, possibly. That would actually be quite cool.
I'll just say Schism because I don't actually care.
I just got the most amusing message from a woman. I have no idea why they sent me that. Anyway, because that's more important than this, apparently. I don't care. I assume the heels. I'm assuming heels will win.
Whatever team Tyler Bate's on, I'm backing that team.
You're going to back Tyler Bate? Okay.
Yeah.
Carl, who you got?
Oh, yeah, I'll go Schism because I don't care.
Tanvir?
I'll go Schism Aneurysm.
Schism Aneurysm. All right. Triple threat tag team match for the NXT Tag Team Championships. The current champions are Gallus, if you can believe it. Mark Coffey and Wolfgang. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's good news. And they're facing, some actual wrestlers. The Creed brothers, former tag team champions, who have Ivy Nile in their corner, Brutus and Julius. And the D'Angelo family, which is Tony D'Angelo and Channing Stacks Lorenzo. You're talking about, relatively, recognizable people in this match, which is nice. So who we got for the NXT Tag Team Champions?
I've got the Italians.
You got the Italians. Okay.
Sleeping with the fishes. It's going to be the D'Angelo family. They're going to make all the others sleep with the fishes.
That's a murder, Tanvir, just so you know. That's murder. And I don't think they're going to do that.
Well, you don't think that Tony D'Angelo hasn't plotted about killing 2 Scotsmen?
No.
No.
There's no.
Not really, no.
I'm gonna go with Gallus to retain though.
This is why Tanvir will not be working on WrestlePlug Pro's creative team.
I recognize them. I like them. Like I remember seeing Wolfgang before. I think I've seen him live over here at one point.
I have. He faced Adam Cole at the Albert Hall.
I think I saw him in Ethan Page's promotion.
I always felt like he was the most boring part of it. I just like the Coffey brothers.
That's fair.
Don't know what happened to the other one. Probably something bad, knowing my luck. something we shouldn't talk about. I have no idea. Or maybe just didn't he what?
I think he got spoken out against.
Well, I mean, speaking of which, NXT's North American Championship will be defended in a fatal 5-way match. Wesley, our boy, love Wesley,
big fan,
champion. He will. Now this will be fucking awesome.
This will slap.
This is the only thing I'm interested in watching, if I'm being honest. Wesley defends the title against Dragon Lee.
I'm so excited for that.
I love Dragon Lee.
This is debut.
Yeah.
Awesome. JD McDonough, better known as, of course, Jordan Devlin to us. Ilya Dragunov and Axiom, better known as A-Kid. Jesus.
This just sounds like a flipping... like
The Matrix is what this is. This
is
the
Matrix. Or like a progress, or like, when Progress would do like some mad matches. This seems like it would be on a Progress card.
Yeah.
It's, if there's one thing the NXT North American Championship can do, is it's incredibly well in multi-man ladder matches.
Yeah.
It doesn't say this is a ladder match. It just says fatal 5-way.
Oh, is it just a 5-way? Multi-man, I should have just said multi-man match then. I was literally thinking of its Inception match with that 5-star ladder match.
If it is a ladder match, hey.
I don't think it is. I don't watch NXT, so I don't actually know.
No, because the women's match is a ladder match. That's why.
Yes,
so.
Okay. I knew there was.
I need a ladder to be a good match, Tanvir. Stop being a mark.
I know.
So who you
Fucking
got?
nerd.
I've got Wesley.
You got Wesley retaining. Carl, who you got?
I'm gonna give it to Dragon Lee. Actually, I'm excited for that.
All right, Tanvir, who you got?
Ilya Dragunov. I'm
I've
going
got
Dragunov.
JD. I've got JD McDonough.
Ooh.
Yeah.
A four-way split. So
No-
and
no
nobody
love
gives
for-
a shit about a kid in a mask.
Now, Dragon Lee was the one that accidentally broke Takahashi's neck, right?
Yeah.
There we go. Not like I'm holding against him, but that's who it was.
Yeah, it was
Sounds
the
like you
Phoenix
are holding
Plex.
it against him.
It was
No,
the
I
Phoenix-
was just 'cause,
Sounds
like,
like
that's-
you're making a personal
was
attack on
the-
a
No,
Mexican. That's what it
because
sounds like to me.
that's where I remember him most because I used to love
Yeah.
Takahashi when I watched it.
Yeah,
Like, and
it
that
was
just stood out.
it was the Phoenix Plex spot, a spot they've done like a
Jesus
million times
Christ.
before.
Right, okay, I'm taking fucking control of this because we're going to be here forever and we've got WrestleMania to talk about. So we don't have time for Tanvir to splatter his NJPW jizz all over the screen. Roxanne Perez versus Zoe Stark versus Gigi Dolin versus Tiffany Stratton versus Lyra Valkyria, which I believe was just Valkyrie, Aoife Valkyrie from NXT UK, and Indy Hartwell in a ladder match for the NXT Women's Championship. Who we got?
Indy Hart. Wow.
Gigi
I was
Dolin.
I'm gonna go Roxanne Perez to retain.
Yeah, I'll have her to retain as well because it's a big old story. I saw it all online. You know, she collapsed, she's back. She's like, I gotta defend it, and now she will defend it because it's a great babyface story.
Gigi Dolin because she has mad cake. And in your main event, a singles match for the NXT Championship, Carmelo Hayes. Wow, he's moving up the card quick. With Trick Williams alongside him, will face Bron Breakker, who has been champion for an exorbitant amount of time now, bar, I believe, one night when he dropped it and then won it back on Raw, I think, against Dolph Ziggler for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
Cool.
I gotta go with Carmelo Hayes here. It's definitely his time.
Yeah, it's gonna be Hayes.
And then Bron Breakker moves up to the main roster, I assume, on
Post Mania,
Raw
yeah.
after Mania. Makes sense. Frankie, who you got?
Full house.
Hey?
Full house.
Full house, Carmelo Hayes. Everyone's got Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah.
Bron Breakker moving up to the main roster. All right, let's talk about WrestleMania, shall we? So, from Inglewood, California. Yeah, boy. WrestleMania 39. 2 nights, Saturday and Sunday. Night 1 and night 2 look like they should be interesting. Now, right now, there's still quite a bit of shifting around here as to what's night 1 and what's night 2. So I'm assuming some of this will be confirmed later. So we'll try and bang through it as best as possible. But night 1 currently is scheduled with 6 matches. And then there's 7 scheduled for night 2. But don't quote me on this. They could change. The bottom line is, and what's most important is, of course, our predictions, because all these matches are going to take place. So let's start with a big one. The United States Championship is on the line. Austin Theory defends his United States Championship against Chihan. Yeah, boy. Carl Wilkinson. Does Austin Theory prove that he's not just another rookie, or does John Cena ruin everyone's good time and capture the United States title?
It's always super hard to bet against John Cena, but I'm going to. I mean, he doesn't wrestle full time anymore, and this is like the U.S. title as well as the Intercontinental have been made so big in the last like year and a half. So to have Cena win it and bail would piss me off. So no, Austin Theory definitely proves he's ready, even though that promo Cena cut on him was great.
I hated that promo.
I loved it.
I hate all of John Cena's promos. They suck dick. And also, he just makes stupid penis jokes. Grow up, honestly. More like the penis maker. All right, Tanvir, who you got?
Austin Theory.
Good choice.
Cheers,
Frankie T, who you got?
I got Theory.
Yeah, I got Theory, full house. Austin Theory to retain. I think this is basically set up so that he has a marquee win under his belt, because without it, what's the fucking point? He doesn't prove anything if John Cena comes in and wins. Also, John Cena is not going to stick around and have a lengthy title run. He's just not.
Exactly.
Not with his movie obligations. That's not happening. Seth freaking Rollins versus Logan Paul. Celebrities coming to town. Who we got? Carl Wilkinson.
I hate how good this match is going to be because I hate Logan Paul.
Free prime drink all round.
But Seth hasn't won at Mania in a while. I'm gonna go with Seth Rollins, even though everything in my brain screams not to. But I think Seth needs a win in Mania, and Logan Paul has many other ventures with which to be successful in.
Did Logan Paul? He beat the Miz, right? And then he won the tag match as well.
Also, yes, sir.
Yeah.
And he
But the only
lost,
match he's technically lost is Roman Reigns.
yeah. So like,
Okay,
you know,
cool. So it won't make a bit. Okay, cool. Because in that case, I've got Seth Rollins. So because I just think like what's the point? Although Logan Paul winning would be quite good. I really like Logan Paul. I do. Like not as a person, I think he's a piece of shit. But as an actual wrestler, great stuff. Brilliant heel. Frankie T, Logan Paul, Seth Rollins.
I've gone Logan Paul.
piece of shit. Go on.
Yeah. I'm not even sorry.
When are you sorry?
In
Oh,
fact,
what
Are you ever sorry for all the mistakes you make, Frankie T?
while we're watching it,
You should be sorry that you're not giving us a show in June.
Prime drink.
I would drink prime drink, but it's about 12 fucking quid a bottle because you can't get it over here. It's bullshit.
Wow.
By the way, I've had one
I'll
prime
fix you
drink.
up.
One. I've only ever drunk one, and I promised Silent Mark I wouldn't drink one at all on Silent and the Death Machine, which by the way is dropping tomorrow as well. It was one of those things where I just found it on the cheat. I was hanging out with my little sister, and she lives in Slough, which it turns out is the ghetto for Muslims. And yeah, they were. Why are you thumbs upping Slough?
Oh, because I live around Slough, so it is a shithole.
No, you don't live around Slough. You're in Hounslow.
It's like near. I know.
It's not.
Nice
I-
try, I guess.
I
Large geography.
Fucking ridiculous. Like this is like, all right. It's not like heaven and earth, but Slough is not part of. It's not close to Hounslow. It's just not. No, but also don't thumbs up Slough. It's a shithole. It's a shithole.
Where isn't a shithole around here?
Around here. Well, that speaks more about your upbringing than it does mine, honey boo. Yeah. Tanvi, who do you have in this match, by the way?
It's supposedly Logan Paul's last match on his contract, so I'm going Seth Rollins to get him the fuck out of here.
That's a real shame because he should be wrestling more. I
It's
really
his
hope
it's his other commitments, like Carl
he'll
said.
be back.
Oh yeah, he'll definitely be back.
He'll be back. Yeah. I reckon he'll have the Pat McAfee vibe about him. Works for me. Works for you know what? I would have loved to have seen Pat McAfee versus Logan Paul. I reckon I would have slapped. Absolutely. Right. 6 women's tag team match. Trish Stratus, Lita, and Becky Lynch. Lita and Becky Lynch, of course, are the women's champions, tag team champions, which of course apparently not being defended. So I guess they'll go fuck themselves. Those 3 women will face Damage Control's Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. Who we got?
Damage Control.
Frankie, I hate to be a man of bad news, but your internet is shocking, mate. Every time you speak, you go. So I'm a little bit concerned. So reset your route or something, bro. All right, you've got Damage Control. Tanvi's got Damage Control. Carl, who you got?
I'm going with the faces. Actually, I'm going with Becky, Lita, and Trish because, I mean, Trish Stratus is probably my all-time wrestling crush, and I can't predict her losing. I won't do it.
She is fucking still ball-bustingly hot. Like, holy cow.
Like, I don't know
Arguably
exactly where
better
she lives.
looking.
She lives like approximately like an hour and a half from me in Toronto somewhere. So
That doesn't sound creepy at all.
well, I know she lives.
I
in Toronto,
know where
like,
she lives.
Yeah, no,
Just
right.
Carl.
she's Canadian, and I can't not choose the Canadian.
I will pick Damage Control because I don't think that the women's tag titles being on Becky Lynch and Lita is a good thing whatsoever. That I think they thought, oh, this will elevate the belts. Let's put them on a great all-time legend, a Hall of Famer, and a Leprechaun. And it hasn't really worked that well for me, if I'm being honest.
Sure hasn't.
No, because nobody gives a fuck about the belts. They just care about the people that are holding them. They do not give a shit about the belts. So Damage Control win here, and then maybe pick up the women's tag titles on Raw just to kind of cement this stupid little rivalry. I'm pleased for Bayley because she gets to be in the ring with Trish Stratus because I remember her saying that this was like one of her all-time favorite contests that she wanted to have. So that's fun from her perspective.
No, that's awesome.
Bianca Belair defends the Raw Women's Championship against Asuka. 1 year on from winning the belt at WrestleMania.
It's
It's Asuka, baby.
got
Has
Asuka.
to be.
it's really hard to go. I've got to
Tough
go
one, this
Oscar. I've got to go Oscar. I've got to go Oscar.
By the way, her new music sucks.
It does, but
It does.
the new old face paint is incredibly great.
Yeah, what? Oh yeah, the she looks like a gothic version of the musical Cats.
I just like how in her normal clothes she's basically Majima from the Yakuza series.
Tanvir, sometimes I feel like I need to kill you.
You can do that on April 30th at Coliseum.
I fucking will. I'm gonna launch over the announce desk and beat the shit out of you. The master manipulator strikes again.
Okay, you don't have to do it because you can just manipulate him to do it himself.
I know, right? Yeah, see, if I was a great manipulator, I'd make him do it himself. I'm such a good manipulator, I get people bookings. That's how I do it. How I do it. I get you bookings and money. Yeah. Feel manipulated? You should do. I've got Asuka. I think it makes sense. Bianca Belair's had a great run, by the way. One of my favorite all-time women's title runs. Brilliant. She's done a great job and really legitimized that belt. So yeah, Frankie T, who you got?
I've got Asuka.
Excellent.
Clean sweep.
Cool. And speaking of which, the match, interestingly enough, I would have thought they would have had a women's title match on each show, but apparently both women's title matches are scheduled for night one, including that women's six-man tag as well, which is a real surprise. So they're pretty much loading up the women's matches on night one, which isn't a bad thing necessarily, giving them a strong position for most of that card. But Rhea Ripley will challenge Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship in what some people are suggesting will be the main event of night one. However, there is the potential, even though it's currently listed on here for night two, the undisputed tag team titles might potentially main event this night as well. There's been a lot of rumblings about it. But right now, we'll go with what is written here. Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. Who will be the SmackDown Women's Champion by the end when the dust settles on WrestleMania?
Rhea
Probably
Ripley.
Rhea Ripley.
Mommy.
Remember last year when I doubled down on Ronda Rousey and then she lost? And
Yeah.
I had to drink brown sauce thanks to Jay Miller.
Who still hasn't done it.
I'm wondering if lightning's going to strike twice here.
Don't you do it. Don't you do it.
Do it just to prove a point. There it is.
Charlotte Flair to retain. Charlotte Flair to retain and trigger the fuck out of everybody. That's what I'm going for. So, and no, I'm not doubling down and saying I'll down brown sauce, but I'll down something relatively better for my digestive tract. So,
Sriracha.
Tell you what, if Rhea Ripley wins, just as a little present, everyone who's on this podcast, I'll buy you a free Prime drink and get it sent to you in some formal fashion. So there you go.
Nix, I don't want you to go bankrupt, mate.
The really sad thing is, probably would cost about as much as I've got in my bank account right now. All right, night two, allegedly, although we're going to start with this one because it should be slap dab in the middle. We don't know whether it'll be night one or night two. The arguably the most boring match on the entire card. The undisputed tag team titles are on the line as the Usos defend against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
My heart just broke.
I thought for a second you were going to be like Brock.
You know what, Canada? Fuck you. Fuck you, Canada. Yeah, so this is going to be amazing, isn't it? The emotional culmination of the Bloodline versus Canada. It's Wrestlemania 39. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens to challenge the 500+ day run, I believe, or somewhere around that region of the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions. For my money, the greatest tag team in the modern era, the Usos.
I've got Team Canada.
It's KO and Sammy. If it's not, I quit.
It's got to be KO and Sammy, but the finish has to be Sammy pinning Jay. It has to be Sammy pinning Jay.
Yeah, I can accept that. Don't say it, man. Don't say it. I can see the gears turning. Don't say it.
I've got ideas. I've got ideas. Yeah, no. This is the one time where they've tested my resolve of how much I love the Usos because I pick them all the time, every time, because in my opinion, they are literally, they're just fucking lights out, the best in the world, in my opinion. I'm going to pick the Usos to retain. Yep.
Breaks my heart.
We
What are
don't
you gonna
break
do for
streaks
this
here,
one?
pal. The Usos to retain and then turn on Roman Reigns on night 2. Yeah. That's just my
Ooh.
fantasy fucking. Yeah, no, I don't know. Obviously the smart money is with the Canadians, definitely. It's like if Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn don't win, who does? You're done from that point. They may as well just retire the tag titles. Rey Mysterio faces his son Dominic.
Dominic.
I want Dom to win, but he comes out in the lowrider for his entrance. He goes full on Eddie Guerrero with his entrance.
Do you know what?
I put that in the group chat.
He's getting mad heat right now. I've got to give him credit. Like,
Yeah.
mad heat. I watched Raw this week, which I thought was a bit dull. But the one segment that really stood out where they weren't sweetening the crowd were all over him when he said he wished that Eddie Guerrero was his real father.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Brilliant. He's really starting to make waves, actually. I like this. It's
From prison Dom to this, he's been on a hell of a run recently.
And I've known many a prison Dom in my life, honey. I can assure you of that. Who we got? You've got Dominic, right?
Yeah.
Dominic.
Dom.
Carl,
Yeah,
who you got?
it's Dom. As much as I hate to say it, it's Dom.
Rey Mysterio.
I'm not mad at that one. I think this.
I
Might
don't
be
think
the tough
Dominic
one
needs to
call.
win. He's got mad heat regardless.
This might be the toughest one to call.
It would really help cement his legacy, moving forward though. So it works well if Dominic does win, especially, the night after his father gets inducted in the Hall of Fame. That's pretty cool. What would be very cool is, when they always do the lineup in front of the audience and they bring out the Hall of Famers, Dominic needs to attack Rey Mysterio when he comes out on that in front of all the other Hall of Famers. That'd be sick.
Do that and go straight into the match.
Nah, fuck that. Just beat him up and send him, just send him to the hospital. Yeah, just been off the mat. There's too many matches. Fuck them. So, oh god, these matches. I forgot about these. WrestleMania Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Showcase matches. Translation: we have nothing for you, so we're going to bung you in a shitty multi-person match so you feel like you actually have earned your place, which is a real shame because there's some real talent here. In the women's Fatal 4-Way Showcase, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez will face Natalya and Shotzi, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Wow, Ronda Rousey is in the women's. That's They do not give a shit now, do they? Or has she just decided that she's leaving or something? Because it feels like they're trying to bury her on the way out. And Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville, the Karens. Do we care? I've got Liv Morgan because I want her so badly. That's all I want in my life is Liv Morgan, and then I literally that's it. If I went on a date with Liv Morgan, I would actually kill myself the day after because that would be it. I've topped out in life. So simple as that.
Rousey and Baszler.
I don't care.
I've also got Rousey and Baszler, but I don't think I could actually care less.
I will say this: if they win and then win the women's tag titles off of Becky Lynch and Lita, that sends quite a good message. But I just don't give a shit. Tanvir, you got?
We stand a queen. I'm going Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez.
Yes. Right. In the men's, it'll be Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy versus Viking Raiders. That'll actually be a good match, I reckon. In terms of wrestling, especially Braun Strowman, who's easily the best technical wrestler in this match. See, Carl's just dying inside. He's like, you know what? Fuck you. He finally makes time midweek as well for us, bless him. And he just, he's probably regretting this. He hates this podcast.
No, actually, I think Strowman and Ricochet are actually a really good team. I really like watching them wrestle together.
Finally, he's in the position he should be in the job, as well. Yeah. All right, then, Carl, who you got?
I'm gonna go Street Profits. It's always such a
I
It's
reckon they're
never a bad
breaking
fit
them
to
up
go the
soon.
Street Profits. If they break up, it has to be like an amicable split. One of them doesn't have to turn heel and beat up the other. Just go, you know what, lads?
Angelo Dawkins turns heel. 6 months later, he's on AEW Dark. It worries me. Dawkins is so good. They're both so good. But
Dawkins has to be on there as like maybe one of the greatest, most improved wrestlers of all time. Because
I mean, I always thought he was good anyway. Unlike Eddie Kenway, who has a terrible opinion.
I think Dawkins has always had one of the best hot tags.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like Titus O'Neil in Primetime Players.
Yeah.
Frankie T, who you got on this?
I'm going to go Viking Raiders.
You.
A fine choice. They'll have Valhalla at ringside, apparently.
Yeah, Valhalla's a place, not a person.
Yeah.
Not according to WWE, it's not. Sorry, the Valhalla experience.
I hate that. I hate that a whole bunch.
Yeah. Tanvir, who you got?
My boy Otis. I'm going Alpha Academy.
Oh, no, he's going to get distracted by Maxine, and probably that'll be why they don't win, which is, by the way, like, just, we're finally enjoying Gable and Otis, and you're thinking, you know, there's something here, and then they derail it again. Poor Gable is just like a bitch. He's going to be like Dolph Ziggler, isn't he? In 10 years' time, he'll still be wrestling on Raw doing absolutely fuck all with his life.
Everybody loves Gable though, and that's the saddest thing is that
they don't know, do they? The general fan, we love him, but the general fan base don't. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you can love him all you want, but it doesn't matter if he's not going to be doing anything.
I do love that. Oh, thank you. I just find him funny.
He's so good.
You know what? 10 years, maybe 20 years too late. Attitude Era guy would have been great. Could have been just like Kurt Angle. They could have made him into the new Kurt Angle, but no, we can't do that, can we? I've got Braun Strowman and Ricochet just because why not? They're big happy faces, and also, by the way, what a damning indictment if they do win that match, considering that the other three are proper tag teams. Like, just a big go fuck yourself to tag team wrestling from WWE Creative.
That would be a signal that Vince is back if Braun and Ricochet win.
There are 3 matches left, and in my opinion, these are the 3 matches that I want to see most. Yeah, tag team match. Never heard of it. Nobody cares. Brett Meadows, stop fucking. He's going mad, isn't he, on the socials? Blimey. Yeah, I was gonna say I've never seen him fucking tag IWE so much in all his life. Making up for lost time, honey boo. The Hell in a Cell match. Oh baby, Canada's own Edge versus the Demon Finn Balor. Oh yeah,
that's gonna fucking slap. Sir.
I only want one thing, and that's Alter Bridge to do Edge's entrance.
Honestly, I'll sickly. Well, if they're there, they may as well do Judgment Day as well.
Yeah.
But then that makes them look like proper dickheads because they're on the fence. Doesn't that make them look goobers if they do both?
I would love that, actually. They play one and then they play the other.
It'd be a free Alter Bridge concert.
Back to
it'd be
back.
great.
Like, they just stay out on stage. Fuck it. It'd be so good. I do like Alter Bridge, it has to be said. I've seen him live a couple of times. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, who we got? Edge or the Demon? Finn Balor inside Hell in a Cell.
I'm gonna go for Finn because I think Finn's gonna. But it seems like this might be Edge's goodbye in a way.
Well, they reckon that this year will be his last. That's what we're hearing on a grapevine. So everyone can fucking cry their eyes out again, for fuck's sake. He shouldn't be allowed to retire. He should be forced to wrestle for the rest of his life.
Jesus.
At least
stay.
At least this time it would be of his own choice.
That's probably why I think he wants to say goodbye on his own terms. Would have been nice to have seen him win the WWE title once more.
Yeah, the same reason I'm also going with Balor. I think Balor's bound to hopefully get a bit of a push next year. Like, this will spoil one of my predictions later, but I think he'd be a great matchup for Cody.
Yeah, definitely. What did Edge do last year at Mania? I can't remember.
AJ.
AJ.
Good match. Although
was
the
missing
triple
out
threat
on
match with Reigns and Bryan was amazing.
who's AJ's missing out on Mania this year, which is pretty sad.
Yeah, he is. He's injured.
Yeah, a broken ankle.
Ah, shit. So, I bet he comes back on Raw.
If he does, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, now's a good time to do it. The Intercontinental Championship is on the line
Oh,
in a triple
Can I
threat
just
match
say,
that
I
might
pick
just
Edge.
implode the universe. My penis can only get so erect indeed. Oh yeah. Oh baby. Meaty men slapping meat against more meat in a steak factory full of horses and balls and yeah. Tanvi's yawning during the triple threat match. I demand it be executed immediately. Such a travesty. I don't care that it's midnight. Fuck you, Tanvi. Nobody yawns during Gunther, Drew McIntyre, and Sheamus for the you fucking
That was my orgasm face. I was coming in excitement.
Shit.
I was
Well,
coming
no
with
wonder your
excitement.
missus is so fucking moody all the time if you yawn every time you come in. Wow, this is going down a really bad route real quickly. So yeah, Gunther defends his IC title. I think Sheamus finally gets the big win and finally completes the Grand Slam at the expense of Drew McIntyre, which is why Drew's in this match.
I've got the same as you, Nix. Yeah, I think Sheamus winning but pinning Drew. So that we get another Sheamus Gunther.
Who you got, Frank?
Jeez, no.
Say again?
Who you got?
Well, first of all, I'm going to pick Edge for the last match because I never got my prediction in.
Oh, sorry, mate.
And I'm going to go with Gunther to retain.
Gunther to retain.
Ballsy.
You know what? I think it's good to get the belt away from Gunther because I believe he should be now moving on to the main event level.
Chop Cody. Chop Cody.
Gunther, for me, should be the man who takes the belt away from Roman Reigns, personally. That's what I think should happen. But probably not, but you never know.
That's still up in the air.
I mean, I just, yeah, it's a real shame because I get the feeling that Bloodline's going to implode now. And I would have liked to see Bloodline versus Imperium before they lock that down. That would have been fucking amazing. But the problem is that the other two are kind of just lackeys, aren't they? At least the Usos are a credible threat, whereas Ludwig Kaiser is amazing, but they're just total bitches. Carl Wilkinson, who do you have for the IC title?
I'm also going to go with Sheamus. I think getting a Sheamus and Drew feud again, this time over the championship with heel turn from Drew, maybe, because he's been pretty bland as of late.
WrestleMania Backlash.
Like, I love Drew McIntyre. I've had a lot of fun watching his face runs since the Rumble in 2020, but it's getting a little boring now, lads. Let's get an angry Scott against a cheeky Irishman.
That is absolutely fair. That is absolutely fair. And of course, what will no doubt close out WrestleMania for the WWE. You just interrupt. Outrageous. Oh, fucking yeah. Thanks for reminding me. White Power versus Black Power. Omos versus Brock Lesnar. Here we go.
Omos.
You've also got...
No, it's Brock. It's Brock. It's Brock.
No, it's Omos. It's Omos, 100%.
There is no way Brock Lesnar is jobbing Omos.
No
way.
It's gonna be Brock, but I will piss myself.
They've even done it on Raw, haven't they? Because like Omos has got the upper hand on him twice, so that means that Brock Lesnar's clearly gonna win.
Do you remember when they had like their first in-ring confrontation and Omos like tried to push Lesnar out of the ring and he fucked it up? The video package they've done recapping it, they've edited it where it doesn't show him not being able to push him over the top fucking rope.
This is WrestleMania 9. This is Giant Gonzalez versus Undertaker. This megastar versus an absolute giant buffoon. Like, no, I'm sorry. What a load of hot garbage. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure mainstream fans or casual fans, should I say, are probably going to love it because it's like, look at the size of these two units. Like, you know, King Kong versus Godzilla shit. But I just fucking don't care. Brock Lesnar will win in, like, I don't know. It's all just for the imagery of him picking him up for the F5, which we know he can do.
Do we remember when Omos was like under the AJ Styles learning tree?
Yeah.
And he learned jack shit.
Frankie T's got Omos from what I just heard.
Yep.
Interesting choice. It's got to be one of the cool kids, isn't he? It's got to go against the grain, isn't he? It's not like anyone else has been doing that tonight.
Homophobia.
I mean,
And,
Cam would say Omos, but Cam's a dumbass.
That's because he's an
what are we
homosexual.
saying for a Bobby Lashley, Bray Wyatt then?
That's not here.
Because Bray's pulled out, so Bobby's in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on SmackDown.
Wow, what a waste for Bobby Lashley, eh?
Yeah, it was just tonight.
Bobby
Bray
Lashley
Wyatt's
and
actually
LA
flown
Knight.
to. Bray Wyatt's actually flown to this thingy.
Mate, your internet is dreadful, fam. Like, really bad. It's a little bit concerning. But I think what he said was Bray Wyatt has flown to WrestleMania, so we'll see. But
I mean,
he'll probably just fucking attack Lesnar maybe after the Omos match if they're going to do something there. But I do not give a fuck. What's happened to Wyatt anyway? Is he injured and all?
No, he just fucked off, it seemed like.
Oh, okay. Has it just died on his arse already, has it?
Don't know.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
man, do you not remember how hyped people were when we were watching Extreme Rules? Like, I was fucking hyped when he came back, and now it's been like a damn
Farm remembers.
Yeah.
British Farm remembers.
Yeah, well, in your main event for the WWE Universal Heavyweight Championship, Roman Reigns defends the greatest reign in the modern era of all time against the prodigal son, the son of a plumber, Cody Rhodes. New champion?
New champ.
I think Cody's gonna blow up the stadium with the amount of pyro he's saying there's gonna be.
Not
Why do you have to make a domestic terrorism joke, man? Like, what the fuck?
domestic terrorism. Frankie T, new champion?
I'm going to say Reigns retains.
Oh.
Ballsy.
Ballsy pick.
That'd be 3 Manias in a row that Roman would have retained as well.
Tambi, you got Cody?
I've got to go Cody.
Carl's got Cody. I got Roman Reigns.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I say Roman Reigns to retain. Drops the belt to Gunther.
I like the size of your balls.
So do I. I would
bigger than the Miz's.
Nix has got
I wish.
Nix has got Nix has got the Randy Marsh wheelbarrow going on right now.
Buffalo Soldier.
Yeah, I'll be microwaving my testes later, I'll tell you. I just prefer I don't think it's had enough hype for it to be like, this is a big deal, Roman Reigns dropping a belt, and it doesn't feel as much of a big deal as it should. Maybe the SmackDown face down will kind of help with that. I felt like Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns was a much bigger deal than Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Yeah. Maybe I'm the only one who thinks that, but
yeah,
I felt like actually this should have been Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn at WrestleMania.
Sami Zayn versus Roman had that kind of Eddie Guerrero Brock feel to it, where you're like, this should be the moment of like Sami should be winning here, but they didn't do it.
Yeah, and that was in the same position as well, the second pay-per-view of the year. So, it's just annoying because, like, if you hadn't had the link up of the belts, if you hadn't fucking unified them, Cody Rhodes could have won the Rumble and won the other one.
Yeah.
And that would have been a great moment. And Sami Zayn could have knocked off Roman Reigns' incredible run and finally pulled the double agent thing off perfectly.
Yep.
Yeah.
And instead, we get this. And it's not like it isn't going to be good, because it will be. It'll be amazing. But it's that thing of like, man, I really like Cody Rhodes as well. He's been fantastic since he came back. It's a shame that the injury derailed him, because then we would have had more emotional attachment instead of him just coming into the Rumble, winning, and going straight into the main event of Mania. But yeah, no, I don't know. Something about it. Mate, I'll be interested to see what people think. If anyone's listening to this, let me know if you've got this far anyway. But for me, I personally feel like this is something about it just doesn't feel as big time as it should. So that's just me, though.
That's exactly why I said Reigns as well. It just, okay, we've had a couple of promos. What else have they had? Nothing.
Yeah. Nothing. It's just been like, he beat
I mean-
Solo Sikoa on Raw, which is great, but
I mean, I personally like the fact that they haven't like put hands on each other yet.
Yeah.
I think that's what
I like
think
that
that's what
we're
SmackDown
waiting.
is for. I reckon it's going to explode at SmackDown. Well, they'll either explode or they'll just be like, meh. and then we'll see you at Mania. Yeah, like obviously the kind of storyline is what's going to happen. Like Cody Rhodes said, he's going to go back to an advocate and all this, and everyone's going to leave your side. And, but I think one of the big indications will be what happens with the Usos. Because if the Usos lose, you would think, okay, more likely than not that the bloodline collapses.
Yeah.
Whereas, because also you can then give Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn a little bit of a kind of consolation prize. They can run down during the main event and help Cody Rhodes so that he wins and then maybe celebrate with him. So we'll see how that goes. But it'll be good nonetheless. It's just bloody exhausting when you've got to do 3 shows on top of that like I have. It's just like I'm not going to sleep at all this weekend. I'm probably going to be iller than ever by the end of it. So it is what it is. Time for any other business rather quickly. Anything you gentlemen want to talk about before we wrap it up?
I mean, I assume we're gonna have a Zoom call going for it, I imagine.
Yeah. I'm going to be at BCD Friday night, upsetting all the marks, and then Saturday I'm at Rumble, and then Sunday I'm at Wrestling Society. But I will have Zoom calls open for both nights of WrestleMania.
Nice.
Let's go.
Really cool.
A beautiful thing.
So yeah, should be a good laugh. All right, we'll leave it there then because it is very, very late, particularly for the British pair who look like they're desperately struggling to stay alive at this point, especially Tanvir. He's definitely dying. Especially now that Tanvir's iron deficiency is probably super high because he's banging that sweet Canadian puss. Am I right? He's got. Did you hear this, Carl? Tanvir's got a Canadian missus. Legit.
Yeah, what's that like?
Yeah.
It's nice.
How does
I'm liking
Tanvir
it.
pulled a Canadian woman before Carl has? How is that plausible?
I got more Riz.
I mean, you have to because I don't even know what that means. So you must have more of it.
But
He's
Kyle,
he's more steezy.
I don't know
Kyle,
what that means.
Kyle, I'm kind of sad right now. I want to see the jar.
No,
That's the
you're getting
jar.
pussy. You don't get the jar.
You get Canadian pussy, then you get no jar. That's how that works.
Oh.
No jar for you.
No jar.
No jar for you.
That's the rule.
That should be Carl's thing now. No jar for you.
No jar for you. Get out. Out. On off you go.
Oh.
Take your big gorilla with
Harambe.
you. Take your big dead gorilla with you, pal. Oh dear.
He's not dead. He lives within our
What's
hearts.
really sad is there's probably some subsection of racist America that thinks that's Omos behind you. So, no, I'm not saying that's what we think. I'm saying that there's a lot of white trash. Pay attention to the context, you woke morons.
Hashtag Harambe didn't do it.
Hashtag Harambe versus Omos.
Harambe.
Can we have Harambe versus Omos?
Harambe versus Roman Reigns.
Versus
That-
Omos.
That's your wrestle
Moose.
Wrestle Moose.
Oh, Moose debuts on Raw, not after Mania, and topples the Reigns era.
That'd be fun. That'd be
Or
hilarious.
an actual Moose attacks him. just an actual sent
Man,
by Kyle Wilkinson.
I would not-
That's what Canadians do. Like, we have Trojan horses, they have moose. They send elk.
I would not fuck
Wild
with a
locations.
Canadian moose, man. Like, moose are dangerous creatures.
I agree. Tanvir's laughing, but he wouldn't.
Moose.
Just because
That's a nervous laugh.
you've been banging away on your Mrs. Moose Knuckle, mate.
I mean, I'd mess around with a honey badger, so I don't know what that says.
Is that what you call your missus, the honey badger?
Better than cum dumpster, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. She's not watching this. It's all good, bless her. I'm sure
Oh,
she's
no.
lovely.
Oh no, I told her that you kind of banned her, and she was like, "Nah, fuck it, I'm gonna listen to him anyways." So she might be a listener.
Hi.
Well, I mean that's
What's her
that-
name?
Her name is Sasha.
Oh, yeah. Do you get her to dress up as Sasha Banks?
No.
Sailor Moon.
Sadie's
Sailor
matinee now, isn't it?
Hmm?
Yeah, but she looks like a plasterer's radio.
Ooh.
His face there, like, yeah, motherfucker. Yeah, boy.
Oh,
Hot and spicy tan beer.
I'm gonna end up in a doghouse for this.
Have you ever huffed masala off of her yet? Have you done that? By the way, for people who are sitting there going, this is fucking inappropriate and racist, fuck you. You don't know the context, you woke tarts. Go and listen to fucking Cultaholic or something, you melts.
Nah, we mixed the masala.
Tanvir rips
with
on
the
me for
syrup.
being a terrorist all the time. It's all good, man. We're like, this is just our, this is our
Yeah.
general kind of. I don't know.
This is how we show appreciation and no cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
Real equality means we can rip on everything. Grow up.
I mean, 1 week I'll just wear my weighted vest and my black and white scarf on the pod, and Nix will think I'm one of his accomplices.
Well, we prefer to call them fellow cell members, but crack on.
Hello, Solomon. Hello, brother. Yes.
Have some respect for my culture.
I prefer to call them one-time plane member.
Yeah, they're an infrequent flyer, Michael.
One-way ticket.
Oh, it's just the way you said it was sad and depressing, not funny. You were just like one-way ticket. Ed. Oh, fucking that's miserable, that is. Dear oh dear. Anyway, we're already on the blacklist, didn't we, Frankie? So we don't have to give a fuck. We can say whatever we want.
Let's see how far we can push it.
What's the whitelist?
Push it to the limit. And whatever the other lyrics are. Yeah. Anything anyone wants to add? Anyone want to hype anything they're doing this weekend? Anyone up to anything good?
WrestleMania, bruh.
I'm the
That's
only
all
one working this weekend.
WrestleMania.
I'm the only one working this weekend, aren't I?
I might be coming with you on Friday.
Might. We might run a show in June. I might come with you. I don't deal in mites. I deal in absolutes.
I'll have you know that only the same deal in absolutes.
I don't deal in if, buts, or maybes. I deal in absolutes.
Yeah.
Like that TikTok.
Yeah, only the same deal in absolutes. That's
By the
all I'm
way,
saying.
By the way, right? For some reason, I've only just realised this amazingly, but the fuck is this shit?
Looks like a bruise.
It is
looks
a bruise.
It looks like a cigar burn.
It fucking hurts as well. And I think it's because some fucking makeup twat kicked me square in the fucking shoulder on the weekend. And it wasn't Frankie T, but it was his gimp fucking mute friend Xander. Twat. In depression mode.
Why'd you beat him up, Frankie?
Why not? Look at the state of it.
Look at the state of it. That's right.
He's already beat up enough.
You for a title match for a year, and you jumped me like a pair of pussy holes.
He's already fucking dead. You don't need to. Nix is already like a living corpse. You don't need to beat up on him more. Jesus.
Right, Tanvir, fuck off.
Tell him how you really Tell him how you really feel. Jesus Christ.
That's it. I'm having Carl Wilkinson with wheelchair as my tag partner. You're fucked. He's gonna drive right over you.
Man, I'm gonna get the Linda McMahon shout when I stand up out of that chair.
A couple of men having a midlife crisis dressed as Kiss fucking trivia. Come on, fam.
Kyle to pop a wheelie. I want to put Autumn Kyle to pop a wheelie in the wheelchair.
I'm gonna pop a wheelie in your ass.
I feel like we got off track here. Yeah, thanks for listening to State of Wrestling Address, ladies and gentlemen. There will no doubt be more shenanigans and mentions what happened at IWE, but we'll let it go for now because I'm a professional, unlike some. Is what it is. Give me a show in June if you're feeling that frisky, mate, and me and you can go one-on-one and we'll see how that goes. How about that?
All you need to know is the ring's booked and there's the Rumble participants are booked as well. So
June is definitely a go, is it?
I just got to wait here back from the venue.
Well, if they do, how about me and you one-on-one?
All right, you got the cojones to step in with me, mate.
Cojones is an understatement. My balls are bigger than your career. I don't know what you're talking about. You're on here giving it literally what you've given us the sum total of about 4 sentences this fucking show. Congratulations. You won't even be able to give you that because I'm going to make sure you're eating your food for a fucking tube for the rest of that fucking month. How about instead of chatting shit, you make it fucking. You're the promoter, right? You're the booker man. Put me against you one-on-one, and we'll see how chatty you are. How about that?
I hate when dad and dad fight.
Oh,
Shut the fuck up, Wilkinson. Otherwise, there'll be no deserve for you.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Frankie's internet makes it seems like he's had a stroke for the last hour and a half, and I don't know if I should be concerned or not.
His whole career makes me want to have a stroke. And not a good one either. It is what it
You
is.
could
You know what?
put my
Do something.
teeth
Do
I
something
must
for
right, but my
yourself.
balls will forever be used.
Yeah, that's right. You keep chatting about your balls, man, but you know that ain't gonna mean much when I'm teabagging the fuck out of you.
Frankie, we've seen what your balls produce.
Oh
We're
no,
not
he's
impressed.
teasing me with a good time.
Come on, crack on, mate. Instead of just chatting, actually book something. Just get it done. You know, instead of being a little bitch, instead of coming on here and not really contributing fuck all and jumping people from behind, actually do something. Take your balls out of your missus' purse, right? Stop paying maintenance for God knows how many fucking kids you got. Book the fucking match. Make it happen. Because apparently I'm facing you in September anyway, right? Tag Team Turmoil. You want me in there?
Yep.
That's great. You've been basically cherry picking your opponents. Why not cherry pick me? If I'm literally not that impressive whatsoever as an opponent, you'll have no problem facing me one-on-one, right? In June. That'll be easy pickings for you, right?
Frankie has to
Be back at
sell
the
one.
office.
Frankie has to sell one.
Come here, shut the fuck up. If I want your opinions, I'll ask
Yeah,
for it.
you.
Otherwise, I'll put you in there and make it a triple threat. How about that?
No, I was just
Well,
gonna
it's
say
not really much of a threat, is it?
Frankie has to sell one of his kids to cover your booking fee.
Tell you what, fucking make Tanvir the referee because I just want to beat the shit out of him.
I'll
Get
be
on
the
my nerves.
timekeeper.
It's because I'm submissive and breedable. isn't it?
Timekeeper, that'll be nice because you can't keep time and come on this podcast very often, can you?
Timekeeper Carl. We'll finally see Kyle if Carl has legs or not.
Yeah, but you won't because if we sat down, that's why he wants to be timekeeper. So he can keep up the
Ding.
illusion. I know what he's up to. He'll wheel him in before it. He'll come out and like it'd be amazing if you made your entrance to drag yourself down on your own. All the way down and just crawled up and then just left again. Incredible. Right, we'll leave it there because honestly, it's fucking half midnight and we've been going at this for like over 2 hours now, and I'm pretty sure nobody's listening at this point, other than the blacklist agents. So because apparently they're obsessed with me. Anyway, I've been Aaron X. He's been Frankie T. He's been a gorilla, and Carl Wilkinson, the moose expert. So say hello to your missus for us down there. And yeah, we'll catch you very soon for more content from the Wrestle Plug. Give fucking the old Spocker again, mate. Get it right up Frankie T's pommel, yeah.
It's only logical.
The full fist up my ass.
Oh yeah.